Right, I want to talk about why I love Harry Potter. It all started when I was in year 7 at Whatcom, and that part of the school doesn't even exist anymore because they knocked it down and built a new one. But I was taught by a teacher called Miss Champlin, and for English, and she brought out this novel called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And as a class, we read it, and I absolutely loved it. And by that point, it was a few years old, and I'd not heard of it before, and quite a few people hadn't. And then I realised there were a few more of them. So I sent Mum and Dad, as you do, buy me this, buy me that, sent them out to go get me some. And I got the next novel, and the next novel, and the characters got more interesting. And then as I went through school, I realised that I was the same age as the Harry Potter characters, which was really geeky, but I loved it. I loved being able to be, like, they're in year 7 when I'm in year 7, they're in year 8 when I'm in year 8, and pretending to be like them. And I did actually used to want to be a wizard, not a witch, a wizard. And I thought it would have been brilliant, but my letter never came. But the reason why I love it is because I've always loved Lord of the Rings. My dad has always encouraged me to read Lord of the Rings. And Harry Potter is more of an accessible version of that. Yeah. So the storyline is, it takes a lot from Lord of the Rings. So Aragog, the spider in the Forbidden Forest, is the spider from Lord of the Rings. The spider on the top of the mountains that Frodo finds. But it is less evil, less sinister, and it's more accessible for people my age, obviously, when I was reading it. Still read it now, but when I was a child, when I was your age. So I love that side of it, but also the myths and the legends that J.K. Rowling uses to create her stories. So things like the centaurs and the different characters, the giants and the monsters and the demons, and all that side of it is really, really interesting for me, because it's all from real mythology, if you like. It's all from history and from stories that she's drawn on over time. So that's then led me on to reading all sorts of other stories as well. I would say my favourite character is Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore, the professor, the head of Hogwarts, because he's so intelligent, he's so powerful, but he doesn't overpower people. He doesn't tell people what to do. He doesn't demand respect. He gets it. And I kind of wish I'm a teacher in that way, where I don't tell people to respect me. I earn their respect, so it's over time. Also, I'd love to have a humongous wizard hat and a giant beard, but obviously it's not going to happen. I even named my cat Albus Dumbledore after him, which is really sad, especially when I'm at the vets and they go, Albus Gibson, and I have to get the giant ginger cat out and take him in for his injections. But really, I think it's the whole side of having the opportunity to not be in normal life. So I'll have been to school or I've been to work, and I can go home and read Harry Potter, and it's not reality, it's fantasy, it's fiction, it's all made up, and it completely allows you this sense of escapism and this freedom from your own life and your own worries and your own stresses, which everybody has regardless of who you are, and you can be whatever you want to be. So you're involved in somebody else's life, which is always going to be better and more interesting than yours because you're not living it. And that's why any sort of fiction or any sort of fantasy fiction for me is brilliant. So people like Terry Pratchett, absolutely love the Discworld series. That's another one you might want to look up. I love anything to do with any sort of I can't even finish that one. Created characters that aren't real, magical characters, and it's really changed the way that I look at novels and look at reading. So it doesn't have to be realistic; it can be completely made up.
Thank you.